Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I'm a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today I'm going to bring you 5 key things that you can focus on for this full moon in Pisces on September 13th, September 14th, depending upon the time frame of where you live. It's happening overnight through the later night hours into bringing balance into our lives, and we're coming into, on the say, for instance, even the 13th and 14th, on the numbers of that, of being Friday 13th and Saturday the 14th. Well, Friday the 13th is all about good luck and blessings, and 13 is all about the feminine empowerment and bringing feminine energy into reality, and 14 is all about the completion and about coming full circle and full cycle. And so that's what this moon is also all about. It's about, we have been on this journey, as we know, that has been a soul journey that's creating transformation. And we've been resisting that change in some form over the last few years because it's created a lot of shifts in our lives. And so what I'm seeing this full moon do for us is it's helping us to become a full color. It's helping us to recreate our identity from the highest version of ourselves and being able to bring out the best of our higher self, to bring in the rewards of all the pieces and the parts that we have been focusing on desiring, wanting, and working towards. And so that's what the first key thing that I want to bring to you is that this is physical transformation for this full moon in Pisces. And that means that we are integrating everything that we have learned from the higher self. We're integrating that into our physical body, and we're bringing it into physical form. And so as we begin to bring it into physical form, that also requires additional change. It requires action. It requires us to step out a little further on the limb again. It's doing some things for us as I go through these. They kind of all align as they usually do. But today I also wanted to just share with you too, before I get started going forward, because the first one is physical transformation. I just want to share with you just briefly on this as we think about this letting go and recreating a new identity and this Pisces energy that's so fluid and emotional. I wanted to come to the water and bring you my own little piece of heaven on earth, my own Avalon, my own swan lake. You may or may not see the swans back here. I see I think one's over by the fountain right now. Yes, on the other side. Hopefully they'll come over here shortly. I've named them Harmony and Justice. And I come here to do my meditation, and I couldn't think of a better place to have showed up. I felt like getting out anyway to share with you this heaven on earth, this Avalon, because this represents exactly what this moon is about, and being by the water. And hopefully the swans will come up closer, and if not, I'll try to get maybe a couple shots of them just to plug in the video once I actually do the video. But in this physical transformation, for me personally, years ago, I had saw this white feathered bird, and I knew that I would be radiant and ready to go out into the world in a bigger, bolder, more beautiful, authentic, harmonized way, illuminating my light when I became full color, and I saw it in a vision of going from a white feathered bird swan into the full colored swan. So I want to show you something here. I actually pulled a card today, this morning, was the swan. And it even says it's transformation, and that it's trusting our psychic gifts and our psychic abilities, which is another thing that this moon is embracing. Well, in that vision that I saw, I had a client from Wales paint the majestic swan for me. And so as you see, as I'm saying, going from the white feather bird into the full color, this is like a representation of what I was talking about. And so it just, like I said, synced up to really share this with you and come here and let you soak up some of this energy with me. So now back to the physical transformation. So one of the things that I feel like we've been doing is in the integration, we have been coming into alignment with our mindset, alignment with our soul, and unlocking that and tapping into that higher parts of ourselves. And then we're also been doing the same thing with our heart, and our energy is going up in that vibration. But in that process, as I'm saying, is now we're integrating, embodying it into our physical being, and our physical being is actually going through a process of purging and releasing and upgrading in such a way that we're reprogramming even how the de-armoring process works of our physical system. So I've been going through this personally through an aspect of taking supplements and getting a new chiropractor that can assist with some older injuries from a long time ago when I had my car accident, and knowing that I didn't want to physically embody this pain anymore or this condition anymore. So I'm also physically releasing that old trauma out of my body. And so in the process of that, I can tell that my physical body has been being in this state that I didn't even realize that my physical body still had such an armor on it. And I had said this a few videos ago about how it feels like my body has basically fighting this resistance, and my divine masculine inside of me has basically been dying. And that's where the second part of this I want to bring into, what's tapping into for you, is you're tapping into some of those deep, deep, deep fears and the emotional aspects around them through this energy and this full moon energy with Pisces. It's really fluid and it's really emotional and watery and hitting us in the shadows. So in this release and this purge of this physical process that I've been going through, I can tell that it's hit some fears that I don't even know where they're coming from in this physical release. And even in a conscious state of knowing that this is what's happening, it doesn't change the fact that there could be the fear there. So it's going to be important to embrace that fear, face that fear, and to allow that to come to the surface, allow yourself to feel it, allow yourself to basically come into acceptance with that part of yourself. Because this moon is also, with the conjunction of all of the planets, it is also creating a lot of contrast and a lot of duality, and it's causing us to operate from the polarities. And that's going to be the last one I talk about, is we're coming into balance of all of this stuff that we're bringing into form. And so in that, we are basically removing the veil. And in removing the veil has been that little piece of that shadow that's still another layer, another piece to that armor that I'm talking about. And I'm also suggesting that this armor now is kind of coming in from your physical being, that learning how to, let down your guard in a sense of when you face these fears, say for instance, facing the emotions around it, honoring it, accepting it, not running from yourself, communicating more, not running from situations, being willing to take back your power and stand up and show up and allow your own inner masculine to take the power back to support your inner feminine. And this is, again, another way that is the fifth one, but I'm kind of already pre-sharing with you, that's a form of the balance that I'm referring to, that we're coming to within this energy. And so the other thing that's really huge about this, it's testing our highest truth. Meaning we're in a vortex of this transformation that is bringing things into our reality, and we're being asked to take some action that manifests these things into our reality. And in doing so, it's opening the vortex wide up. It's opening us up to which is also the next one of the fourth one, is being open to receive. But in that opening up, there's the armor again, but also it's going to bring in a lot of things that's going to make potentially you feel like old things are returning, or old people are returning, or old, I should say old people from your past, right? Or, situations from your past, or being tested by things that you've done in the past. But it's all about you being able to implement your new way to do things, your new habits. it's testing the programming, it's recreating the new programming and giving you an opportunity to do it in a new way than the way you've done it before. And this is what I continually call the rewrites of, rewriting our past. And in that process, it's also in that testing our highest truth. It's making sure that we have released our story and let go so that we can create the new stories, create the new identity, come into the alignment of the new version of ourselves, bring that new boldness, brightness, illuminated version of our higher self into our physical reality and express that from our highest truth, and then manifest from the highest timeline that we can and have the opportunity to choose rather than settling for lesser than. I've been tested a lot in all of these things lately, and I even actually honored the space of myself. It was, I guess a couple weeks ago now, I actually was scheduled to go out of town to go to Sedona for a fun vacation. And I felt the need to stay home and honor my inner being, my feminine side, to rest, renew. So that's another thing in honoring ourselves during this time. It's a perfect time in this energy of this Pisces energy is to rest, renew, rejuvenate, and like going into, say, the fourth one, and I'll recap these in a minute, but is the opening up process and de-armoring and allowing ourselves to receive. It's allowing ourselves to receive our greatest potential, not the limitation anymore, not the lack anymore, not the idea and the concept that we have to settle anymore because we're not good enough or we're not worthy because now we're more than enough. And that in this contrast and the duality, both sides of us exist. And it's allowing ourselves to experience both of those sides as we go into the fifth one. I'm telling you, a balance is finding the neutrality and the balance within, so that it's balancing and harmonizing our being versus our doing. So as I was saying, when my trip, I'd been doing and doing and doing because I was working on bringing into form the card deck and had the retreat, all phenomenal things. But then it came down to, did I want to take a trip to come back to go to work? And that became the balance for me of being able to stay home. And I got to tell you, I never normally would give myself permission to virtually back out of a trip. That in that trip I had already prepaid and things for flights and hotel or Airbnb accommodations for staying. And I actually made this decision without knowing if I would get my money back because I didn't have the trip insurance. And so it didn't matter. You can't put a price on inner peace. So I canceled regardless. And it ended up that I ended up being able to show that I was getting treatment for some vertigo that I was experiencing, which was showing me the balance in my life. And also that I wasn't able to fly, and that, I was being treated for this. And so I pretty much have gotten refunded or credited for previous flight fares. So, we come into testing that truth, the highest truth, and the highest truth being that, I needed to come into balance and, align with my inner peace at that time. I just had to trust the process and let go of the attachment to, one, giving myself permission, two, putting a price tag on it, and three, knowing that I had a friend that I was meeting that was sort of, in the past is letting someone down, and luckily she was supportive and understanding and gave me nothing but love and support. And that just brings out more gratitude for our journey. And we're really about these swans, doing it more gracefully now. We're the majestic swan because we're the illumination of our higher self and our highest version of us in our creation. And so we are then basically helping to tune into our heart, so that in that space of our heart, we can start to manifest and co-create, I should even say, because manifesting is still in some level putting it out to the universe and giving the universe permission to deliver. We're in a place now that we can actually co-create, choose our timeline, the highest timeline, a version of ourselves and what we want to manifest, what we want to create, what we want to bring into our life and bring it into our reality. We just have to trust that we can. We have to use the new programming that we've been taught for the last 2 to 3 years, and bring this physical transformation of ourselves into form, which does require more change. And the change has been uncomfortable in the past. And one of the things I'm suggesting in this is for you to take this new way of the new template to literally choose to go through this transformation of yourself from your highest self, your highest version of you, in a way that you can do it with ease and grace now, and very fluid, and you don't have to hang on to the old pattern, the old way that you did it before, the old story, the old programming, the old process. And you know, as I said, then I'm just going to kind of recap these. So the second thing was, you know, I said you're tapping into your deepest fears with this full moon energy, and so just sit with it, just allow it, just integrate it, and know that where there's a shadow, it means there's light coming, and it's going to be that majestic swan light, the illumination of all of you, because if it's the deepest fear, it's going to be your greatest delight that's coming right behind that. And then as you are being tested in this greatest truth, trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust your guides, trust the opportunity for your own spiritual gifts to align with them, and align with all of you is the point in this, so that you can live out your highest version of yourself, your most authentic truth, and come in and embody and integrate all of you and all that you came here to do. As number 4 was open to receive, as you let down that armor of your mind, the old thoughts, the old programming that says you're not good enough, or you're not worthy, or you don't deserve these higher versions of yourself attributes or gifts or physical reality things such as finances or abundance or relationships. Like, allow yourself to have those things. But to have those things, you can never have those things until you align with a vibration and raise the vibration to match that highest timeline, and become open enough to receive what it is you're asking for, and let down your guard of protection. And otherwise, you can never manifest your highest timeline if you don't align with your highest vibration. And so these things in this moon is allowing you to come into balance with your highest vibration, which is number 5, so that you can come into alignment with your head and your heart, coming into your heart's desires, bringing them into physical form through the physical transformation of yourself, and embody that, integrate with that, see it, live it, know it, breathe it. And that is something else I do feel guided to tell you in this process that I think is a very good thing to do in this time of rest, renew, recharge, is to be meditating more, be listening more, be being more. And people don't always understand what be means, but being is coming into an authentic place of rigorous honesty, to you are open, raw, and real, to share from your heart, to not hide who you are, to express yourself from the most authentic version of you, and let yourself be seen in that vulnerability. And I'm learning this myself at my greatest version of that. And I can tell you, I feel like I'm truly coming into this majestic swan energy. You know, I feel like even my physical attributes are shifting, you know, and that's probably part of why I'm stepping outside of my office to do this video today and show up here very raw, real, authentic, in the middle of nature. That's another thing. Our elements in this timeline and this energy is coming into bringing in the harmony of our elemental energy and embodying that high priestess energy from a place of our passion for our creation, and the water for our emotions, and the air for our electric ability to create, heighten, and to connect to the highest version, and then our earth in order to anchor and embody and transform ourselves and bring this into form. And so I just want to encourage you to be also focusing on things that are resting, recharging, renewing your soul. Get out into nature, get out into grounding yourself, do some deep breathing, and get oxygen into your tissues so you can release the toxicity that's being stored in the body, that's causing some of this armor that's protecting you in this tense version. Go get a massage. I've been working with a massage therapist, energy healer, that has been phenomenal working with her. She does a rewinding, unwinding technique. I see much more coming from my own work, having worked with patients for 20-something years as a chiropractor, helping them de-armor their minds, their bodies, and their souls. And I've since integrated that with the heart, and I'm integrating it with the sexual experience, and down to the integration of even the yoni, and opening up and embodying the creation of sexual pleasure and sensuality and grace, and being able to align with that very sensuous spirit that is what's being asked to come into this formation within our reality and the co-collective of humanity right now, so that together we can embody the heaven on earth. And the heaven on earth is found on the inside. Our heaven within creates our heaven without. And one other thing before I close, I just want to quickly share with you. I am launching something I've been working on with this moon for today. You'll find a card above, and actually you'll find the link below, I should say. And it is that I have been wanting to do a membership program for the online transmissions, courses, webinars, lots of healing, training, actions, programs. And I've been working on this for a while, and I have a lot of programs coming. And I was shown that it's time to release it in a membership program. You'll find the link below. It is Twin Flame Ascension Assistant. And in that site that you'll find below, you will get access to some of the courses and the healing transmissions I've already created. And you can buy them individually, but by the time I keep adding like information and content and courses on a weekly, monthly basis, this is going to continue to grow into a large library. And I'm offering it at an introductory price of $11.11 as a subscription, a monthly subscription. You'll find the link to that below. I'd highly encourage you to get plugged into that, because there's a lot of resources that I'm going to be not only have there now as I'm opening it, but it's going to be coming with so many more resources to help you really unlock your power, step into your identity, become the majestic swan, align with and illuminate with your highest truth, so that you can connect to the true self and your true identity of your highest version, and live out your authentic being in a place of harmony and balance, which is what this moon energy is all about. So I send you so much loads of love, light. May you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Make sure that you like, comment, share the shine, and namaste. So hi everyone, I came to the other side, and one swan's still here, the other one's going back to where I was. But I wanted to share with you a reading about the Pisces, the Vesica Pisces, that I will put a picture and an image up on here. I had it and I forgot to read it earlier, so this is good, so I can read it while I'm sharing the swans with you. So it says, the overlapping of two equal circles creates the Vesica Pisces, which means vessel of fish. It is a figure of profound symbolism representing the union of heaven and earth, spirit and matter, conscious and unconscious, masculine and feminine. The Vesica Pisces is associated with the Christ and the symbol of the fish in Christianity. The image of the Vesica as the gateway source contemplates it as the go on a journey from the world of matter into the world of spirit, and return, bringing the spirit into the material world. So basically, this is what I'm telling you. We've been going up in our consciousness from the 3D up to 5D energy, and we've embodied that energy from the higher self. Now we're integrating with it, and we are bringing into form, into our material world and our physical bodies and our physical reality, that which we have been tapped into, tuned into, from the heaven into earth. And we're bringing it all into form. This moon energy is so powerful to help you do that. So I really suggest that you work on the things I mentioned, and those 5 things, to be sure to use this energy and those ideas and concepts and key things to your benefit, to maximize the energy. Thank you. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.